I could be the one you talk to when you're feeling down. I could be the one you run to when the moon hits the ground. I can say what I'm feeling, but the words just don't come out. If you ever feel lonely, girl, just know I'll come around. 'Cause I've traveled so far just to get to where you are. And I know that you're broken, but I know who you are. So pick up the pieces and show me you mean it tonight. Know what you're feeling, I see that look in your eyes. So pick up the pieces and show me you mean it tonight. 'Cause what I've been dreaming is giving you my paradise. So pick up the pieces. Baby, I'ma be there through the rough parts of it all. Holding your hand, fighting for the things that we want. Be the rock you lean on with you by my side. Baby, when we fall, together we'll rise. 'Cause I've traveled so far just to get to where you are. And I know that you're broken, but that makes you who you are. So pick up the pieces and show me you mean it tonight. I know what you're feeling, I see that look in your eyes. So pick up the pieces and show me you mean it tonight. It's such a pain to close my eyes. I'm falling in this deep immerse. Would you ever show me?
Okay, it works. Welcome everybody for tonight's round in the Masters. Here we are for our race in glorious Laguna Seca. Oops. In what is going to be the first round of our Master Championship. Here we are for the usual 7 races. Oh wait, I still have this thing here opened. Okay, no, should be better. So anyway, tonight is going to be the first round. Only 17 drivers, unfortunately, for us all this evening, but we are going to be online for the whole duration of the race, 12 minutes until the end of the qualifying session. As Benjaminek is going to go across the line to start his lap, so we will go with him for a brief lap with the Swedish driver. We go on the bonnet of the Ford Mustang in turn 1. The hairpin, one of the slowest parts of the circuit, then turn 2, not to go over the curb on the right, otherwise you may jump it off. Then turn 3, same thing here, not to go over the curb on the right. It is then 200 meters before the turn into another left-hander. Accelerator goes to the left, and then the most famous part of the circuit, the corkscrew. to try to brake as late as possible to then go first left and then right. Like quick corner to the left, even here not to be thrown into the curb. And then just into the last part of the circuit, then to brake at the 200-meter mark, over the Assetto from the left, on the right, and then across the line. Set 21.9, just in second place. As he goes back to the pits, just need to think here. Okay, now it works. Okay, now everything is breaking down apparently because my... Okay, this is not really happening. Just need this a quick bit. With it. As Alessandro Alfano goes for Gladius competition across the line to start another lap, as the last one wasn't as great as the best one, with a 21.6. Then behind him is Ruben Gomez just starting his first lap, and then just behind him, I think it is Nico Wellman. It is indeed Nico Wellman, which is for now in 12th place. He jumped off from the Porsche 911 to then go into the Audi R8, which is not really any easier than the Porsche. Let's need to do this right quick. As Marco Bella for Gladiator competition, there are two currently. No, wait, three, apologies. Three cars. One is in 9th, the other is in 7th, which is this one here. Getting some TV camera. For now, 4.5 tenths away. The last lap it was at 22.107, so only 7 milliseconds away from their personal best. As the number 89 just went across the line with a 23.1. This right in line camera. Unfortunately for today, it's going to be slightly difficult to, I'll be honest, to jump between cars, since apparently my app doesn't work. The race control decided to go offline tonight. It just can't connect to the servers. I'm not sure if it is an app problem or a game problem. I suppose it's the latter, since, well, it's not really rare to see any problem from the application. As the game, unfortunately, has still some tremendous issues from time to time, but I will try to do as best as I can anyway. As a 2-1 behind, Melker Garbi currently goes for 8, but the FRL car is also going across the line to set a second place, 13 seconds away from Alfano, and in first row just in front of his teammate Zakdal in third and Aleman in fourth. As Zoranovic, in sixth place, remains in sixth, in 888 car. As always, little reminder to link the liveries, since you can see that some liveries are linked but some aren't. I can see the car in 10th place, which is Murasaki in the 777 in this marvelous Super GT livery, as you can see from the number plate on the left and right. There's a little number plate which is very cool to see. We go into the bonnet cam. I think he just slowed down as a 51 also. Oh, loses the car extremely hard into the curve. That's a gravel for Zagdal. I think he was pushing to go or at least 2 laps, since it's so difficult to narrow 2 laps, as you really don't have much heating into the tires for the first lap that you have. As the number 19 starts its qualifying lap, so we'll go for Conor Franzen for... Oh, that's a lot of rear wheel spin. I think in fact his lap time will not be a good one. So we go for Benjamin Eck in the 51, the most American livery I can think of. He's currently in 5th place. As I could see the number 909 in 14th place going a bit into places. See, get some space away from the 777 in the MSR. Livery slightly into the gravel. See, he is currently in 13th only, and he needs to jump as many cars as possible. For now, he remains in 14th, lap which was 3 times away from himself in the 777, number which is a link, I think, to the station car in Super GT and WEC, for this season at least. Team goes as close as possible to the limits of the circuit into the Assetto and over the corkscrew, but I think I may encounter some impeding from the car ahead, which is the car number 909 in 14th at the moment, 7 times away from pole, but he's in a valid lap time as 1 minute and 24 seconds remains, so this is likely the last lap for everyone. Maybe, just maybe, the number 30 made it on time to make 2 of them, but he is currently in 17th place, 4.5 seconds away from pole, so not really a great place at the moment. Vela goes across the line to set another good lap, but again, not enough. He sets at 22.077, practically the same as the lap he set earlier on. But this will keep him in 10th place, just ahead of the number 89 in 11th. So 78, also in the Mustang, is just behind his teammate. It's that is a lot of wheel spin. I think that's qualifying over for Keenan. So in fact, 78 will remain where it is. Vincenzo Senatore. Utilizing the car strike Lamborghini. He currently sits in 12th place. There's a 555 behind of David Hill for the Amigos Racing team is in 9th. At the moment, only Zagbal could be able to set a valid lap. Or maybe not. I think I will change idea very rapidly. At 7. Oh, someone is not in the lobby anymore. I can't look who is. Oh, I can see who it is. It is the. No, wait, Bella is in 5th now. So he managed to jump from 10th. I can't. Someone is clearly missing there. So 555, I think it is the only car. Maybe even the 112 could be able for Senatore to set lap. Oh, he just went off track, so definitely that will not happen there. The 555 in Subaru livery goes across the line to remain in 10th, or rather to jump in 10th. Oh, it was Zoranovic, which is not in the lobby anymore. But ultimately it was Alfano who set the fastest lap in the Gladius Racing team, as his teammate is currently in 5th. As always, they will have to go for a mandatory pit stop, in which they will likely change the tires, since you have a 25 seconds mandatory stop. So considering Laguna Seca is very much actually maybe someone could make a gamble and go for the short stop. In the meantime, we in 1 minute time will go for the formation lap, which is going to be very short. The lap is only 1 minute and 20 seconds long in qualifying pace. Attack itself is very short. Results very used in a lot of series from amateurs, which use the track as a track day playground, but also for major categories. We had here the MotoGP, we still have Laguna Seca in IndyCar, which also was for a long time the finale in this season, and in the last season definitely didn't have so much happiness in terms of racing etiquette, as it was pretty much a joke in some moments. But also the track faced nearly an entire threat from the people that moved there, since this is a very rich and quite good place in California, Southern California, and is very appreciated from home owners. And they threatened to close down the track, but apparently the track won since, well, it existed before them. But anyway, we will go into turn 1, which is this one. Ironically, turn 1 is not really a turn, but it's just the one outside the pits, and then into a dirty hairpin. Turn 2. It is one of the slowest parts of the circuit, as mentioned earlier. But also one of the most hot-picked overtaking spots. As we go into the right-hander to turn 3. This doesn't have a lot of names, it's mainly numbers. The happiness of many. Then we just passed the 4 under this bridge. And you tend to brake at the 150 marks. This turn is slightly banked on the left. Try to go all the way to the right, but not too much otherwise you go on the sand, and it's literally zero grip there. So then go into turn 6 and the Rahal Straight, which takes the name from the current owner of the IndyCar team, Rahal Lithian owner, which also has Graham Rahal in IndyCar. And I think about it, I think NASCAR here will be a banger. Anyway, turn 7, 8 and 8A. I'm not joking, apparently this turn has an 8 and an 8A, what is, for everyone, which is mentally sane, the course tree. Into Rainy Curve, which is turn 9. And I think just around the corner, I think we just passed it, the homage to Nicky Hayden, American driver, which was in MotoGP for a good time and unfortunately lost his life in the late 2010s. And then we into the final turn, which is turn 11. Only 11 turns in this racetrack. But as we go into starting grid, the 113 of Alessandro Alfano for Glorious Competition alongside Garvin, the 221 in the Honda. 2 Hondas in this grid. But here we are for the start, a good gap between Zachary and Alfano, but the green light now, where we go with a very good start by Alfano. The mid one by his opponent in second place. But the 221 remains just ahead of the other Honda, side by side with the 444. Which naturally remains ahead. As also you can see, has the Ferrari behind just looking and lurking, because they clearly want a space for themselves. Oh, Benjamin Eck nearly goes. Oh, there is a huge impact into the wall, and that's, I think, the Ferrari. Yeah, that's the Ferrari of. That's the driver number 19 into the wall. I think there was a contact with Benjamin Eck in the 51. As the 4 now gains some gap, obviously, from Eck behind. So we just have the first train being composed by the top 4. Then Eck behind with Keenan following, Hill in 555, Zaranovic in 8th with Santa Maria. Then Franzen, Relano Meza Mikos with Murasaki only 13th, Veldman which goes alongside Ruben Gomez, which takes place from the Audi. It's a free wide with Senatore on the outer part of the circuit, which takes the place also from the Audi. On the outside, as also behind comes Vella in the 19, which was involved in an incident early on. That's going to be, I think, Vellman in 15th place, still alongside Lamborghini, but I think it will remain like this, with Audi in 15th and Senatore in 16th, getting a bit pushed on the outside from the Ferrari, which obviously wants to take as many places as possible. They started from a very good place. I think the race will be a comeback one for the Italian. Meanwhile, Alfano, his own teammate, is currently in the lead of the race. And also with a good chunk from Zakdal in the Lambo. Just being followed by Aleman in 3rd place. And Garbi now in 4th, so clearly a mistake happened there. Oh! That's Aleman off into the gravel as he goes back in 5th place. Now 6th as Keenan just overtook the Honda driver, which was starting in 3rd. Was also behind. I think there was a little nudge by the Ferrari of Santa Maria there in the number 3 with a lot of weaving from Zoranovic, so maybe, just maybe, some low pressure swing tires, or just trying to cover as much width as possible. But he remains behind the Ferrari and in front of France in the 144 Mercedes-Benz. As you can see there, Keenan is just ahead of Aleman now, and I can expect some heavy battle between the two. Ricardo now back in 3rd. Oh, that's Seca off into the sand as he loses the place from Keenan. Now he sits just in front of Aleman in the 444. Shot extremely wide early on. Now finds himself just behind the Mustang. With Aleman lurking to try to get us a chance in front of the Irish driver. Oh wait, not the Irish driver, because now it is the Swedish driver, since the 78 jumped back just early on after a mistake into the half straight after turn 6. That's a lot of sand for the Honda. In 3rd, that's gotta be a bit off. As just behind, you can see that Zoranovic is narrowly ahead of Relano Mesa in the 89 Ferrari. It's a freeway Ferrari, it's a four-way, apologies, Ferrari battle for 8th place into the... Ooh, that's skin also going off and a bit wide. I think he kept the position just right. As you can see here, Skinner remains for Nov 2 in 4th. Same car for both drivers, so it's going to be a tied race. The Honda way late in the brakes compared to the two Mustangs. This car is not really made for turning, but it's rather made for just speed. Honestly, it's just a speed machine. So I actually didn't feel like this car had any chance in Laguna Seca, but apparently it is keeping pace. As I was saying. Okay. Currently Ek sits in a little sandwich between cars, so number 30 still with yellow flags just after the corkscrew. Number 40 which is finding a lot of difficulties in this very first race. Maybe aiming a bit too high into the profile, since also in qualifying Gomez wasn't really finding much luck. The Aleman is just 6th, unfortunately, and he needs to take back some places. This is currently the battle ongoing, which is the one between the number 3 and the runner in the 888, but also the 89 just behind, looking at them. Oh, that's maybe the overtake for the 888. It doesn't happen. Sonia, this lap lost some. Oh, there's some contact with the 888 and the number 3, but without too many consequences. But for now, the Italian remains ahead of this battle, as pace in front remains pretty much the same. As Laguna Seca is not really one of those tracks where it is easy to make a pass. As also you can see here, David Hill in 555 is starting to lose some from the train ahead, also starting to getting caught by the train behind. Santorini leads this train, but also he is involved in a bit of a battle for 8th, being composed by 5 different cars, 4 Ferraris and 777. Aston Martin as well is now in 13th place in his comeback run. As this run which is very close to Ferrari ahead, I think this is a possible chance for the number 888 to go just in front of the number 3, as I think it happens just now, but he overshoots the braking, and I think it's going to be a number 3 back in front. So the Italian leads again the battle with Murasaki, who clearly lost a lot of track. Possibly some mistake happened early on. David Hill for now 1.2 seconds behind Garvey. Remember that he was in the super class last year, now he's in the pro class after effectively having an absolute blast off. Of a championship in silvers. As oh, that's a lot of contact between the number 3 and oh, another contact there for the number 3. That's with Lana in the number 89. As unfortunately the camera wasn't really helping this, but I think the AAA just threw the car and actually managed to make it through. Oh, that's a lot of sand into the Ferrari's tires, and I think that's going to be an overtake for Mikkelsen in the 909, which goes extremely wide, and that's the overtake for, I think, the Ferrari behind. as Vella is now trying to overtake on two different cars. He was in last place earlier on. And a lot of contact. Oh, that's a crash for Murasaki. In fact, I think Murasaki is into the wall after making contact with the car number 909. This just gives Vella the 11th place. Gladius Esports for those competitions, apologies. The esports team with these magnificent colors and with a clear reference to their heritage in Rome. As Santa Maria nearly goes into the wall after losing the rear on send off the last corners, but he just keeps it away from it, and number 3 is now behind Relano Mesa in 9th. Into the inside he goes, but I think there is going to be some contact there. No, it's going to be pretty clean as the number 89 goes back ahead after the switchback. Keeping Bella pretty much stuck in 11th. Ooh, there's a lot of shooting for number 3. Oh, there is some contact. Oh, multiple contacts. That's going to be a Ferrari driver behind the Mercedes there, as some rear end slips off from the Ferrari. Oh, there's another contact there, and I think the Mercedes makes the pass, but not in a really clean way, as Mikos is now in 14th after losing a position on all the cars behind. So the contact with a Mercedes there in 11th, which is now trying to overtake on the outside of the Ferrari, which is doing the best comeback possible, now in 10th place. Really going to the inside, stays behind. Not only behind, I think there was some contact there. Was a fantasy after the number 3 takes back the place in 11th. Ooh, that's the Audi nearly putting it sideways and into the wall, but for now Velvan remains on the racetrack. As you can see there, Senatore going a bit wide. 2001. But for now, the Spanish driver remains in 9th place. Vella is now in 10th after the initial contact with the wall, and Sant'Antonio is now back ahead of the train, caused by all the cars from 11th to 15th. Here it is Garbi still in 6th with Aleman, Eck and Keenan following. As Zaktal is closing the gap on Alfano. Narrowly, but lap after lap he is making progresses. You can see here the 21.9 being set in stone in the Lamborghini Huracan Evo 2. Which, if you didn't hear the news, is risking its place with Iron Links in the WEC, with a return into the Porsche for the Iron Dames, and a big question mark for who takes the Lamborghini spots. There's also the LMDH program, should be. In WEC gets abandoned to focus, to maybe focus in IMSA. Here Keenan remains ahead of this other train being composed by 4 cars from 3rd to 6th. I think this is the time for Eck to make a pass. I think he goes into the inside, and that's going to be a pass for position number 3. As you can see there, 78 loses the place on 51, now in the podium spot as Vella. He's the first one to make the undercut. 40 minutes to go, 20 minutes into the race. As we briefly go into the point camp, have a look at any possible comeback from Keenan. As this goes up in just here, as you can see, the 51 goes into... Oh, there is a lot of contact there with the 51. He manages to brake, but I think there is some chance for the Honda to make a pass. It doesn't happen. It's actually... Oh, that was... Wait, that was Benjamin Eck. Yeah, it was Benjamin Eck into the gravel. And there's also Santa Maria into the wall, I can see there. Santa Maria is now only 15th, but he seems to have damaged the rear of the cars. Clearly, he went into the wall. Is there a contact? Either someone or... I think he just went off by himself. Alfano is still in the lead, Zaktal just follows, and Keenan is now in third, being followed by Aleman, and not Eck. After Eck went off track just after the corkscrew by losing the rear. Eventually, I just took out the camera. There's also the 909 and the 888 into the pizza, trying to undercut. Oh, that's a lot of wheel spin for Aleman, and he just keeps it on track. Junek gets overtaken by a very wide McLaren. Just pushes him out of the track a brief moment, but this is a good comeback for Here he was quite far away from this train. Now he just tends to be very close to it. And Zoranovic apparently has some issues because he went into the pits but never left them. And he's now in last place. So I wonder if it was any mistake in the pits, whether it was tire or fuel related. And it is now a stop and go 30 seconds penalty for Zoranovic. So it is pretty much a race over for the Ferrari there, as Murasaki goes into the pits in 777 as the Japanese sits in 14th, probably jumps out in, I suspect, 15th place. Gavin now finds himself in 5th, just behind the other Honda, which is now very close to the Mustang ahead, but it will be for podium. Looking at, I can't see, why is it like this? This is your problem. Way better. It's a lot of this proximity for the two cars. As you can see there, Murasaki exiting the pits and entering the pit of hell called Blue Flag Territory. As the Pace is back into the pits, so clearly not a good race for Zoranovic. There's a lot of rear instability for the Honda. Compared to the usual, you really want a lot of rear instability in this track, but I think that's a bit much compared to the usual. Oh, that's the Lemon going extremely late on the brakes, but I think the Triple 4 will go extremely wide, and that's a matter of fact, he just keeps it on the outside. I think he got some contact, but he keeps it on the inside into turn 3. And that's Lemon in third. Back in third, rather. 10 seconds away from the top 2, but this easy on the podium. I could hear some gravel from the Triple 8, still on track, but clearly that car will remain in opposite from number 30, but still mentioning the Triple 8, which is still on track, but I don't think any progress will be made from the car in last place. As Gomez still has to pit and now has blue flags. So he will effectively be required to let the other cars pass by. It's going to be interesting as Kieran goes into the pits to avoid any blue flag situation, and I think many also went two in the pits. As Echo went, but I think that's still a car. As you can see, there's some contact between the 30 and the Triple 4. Clearly wanting to be quick on the lapping procedure. Allowing is just wide, probably the Triple 4 of Gilles Sullivan for MSR. For Mission Spino Racing. This car is probably going to be in the pits in the following lap, trying to cover any undercut. Or he will try to stay out as much as possible to use... Okay. Funny things happened. To try to use an overcut to its advantage. From Hill, there is still some issues to be taken care of, and I think Garby is going to be target for one of the protagonists of the Silver Championship of the last season. As you could see, that was the Honda going to the pits as quickly as possible. Well, see the car was more like see the dust. So the 89 follows car into the pits. As the 112 gets promoted into 5th place, and Bellman follows just behind. So he now has the chance to go for the overcut or to try to cover the Honda into the pits in the number 2-1. For now, Aleman remains in 3rd, with Zagdal still keeping the fastest lap for himself, and Sandalfan still leading the race with his teammate, unfortunately only in a 12th at the moment.
Not over yet.
He now just covers the move to be made by Garby. It's going to be interesting to see how the driver comply to the blue flags being shown. The head is Anonesa in 12th. For the head is going to be Vella in 19th. In the number 19 in 11th, as Alfano chooses to go the other way around and to jump to the pit. And the same goes for Zagdal behind, as you can see there. This Aleman does the same in the Honda, so the top 3 is now into the pits as the 30 is off track again. Sator stays out and Vellman goes in. Santa Maria being the last one of them. Also stays out. Then Keenan is the first one of the cars that did the pit stop, Eck and Garby, one after the other, and stopping a 30 seconds penalty for Alfano. So effectively, the former leader and pole sitter of this race has been hit with a stopping of 30 seconds penalty, so he will certainly lose the lead, which will then be inherited by Zachary behind in technically 4th place, but soon to be 1st. As Aleman, you can see there, can he just make it in front of the 51? He just makes it in front of the 51, but behind the 78. So Aleman chose to lose the position on Keenan to have better tires, and maybe, just maybe, the tactic worked perfectly, because he will now have better tires than Keenan, and he may just hope that something happens to Zachtal, effectively in the lead of the race. He's gonna be behind. Follows closely. These two also keeps an eye on the car behind as Alfano goes for the stopping of penalty. Which will likely put him just behind his teammate in 10th. That's number 19 effectively overtakes his teammate in the 1-1-3 behind the Lana Mesa 2, and likely Velman, yeah, there are a lot of cars that will pass him. So that car is still in the pits. Just now it moves, but it's going to be disaster for the Italian. Salman now sets the fastest lap time in the whole race. It was 21.867. So clearly there is a good chance for Keenan to lose the place on Aleman, because the Swiss is clearly lapping quicker than the Irish driver. As still keeps the lead easily. Now Aleman goes extremely close. Keenan, see, goes again on the brakes extremely late, but he has better tires, so he will take the place, and that's second place for Aleman. With 20 minutes to go. Rafactor effectively took the lead of the race entirely after making the overtake on the number 3, which still has to pit. As Fransen is was on the sand, but he clearly is back running, but clearly in the choose position from Alfano behind in the 113 Ferrari, which was in the lead of the race up until 10 minutes ago. Assetto goes on his side, 113 is now in 13th place, which is a better position, but obviously not position he had. Ooh, that's another spin for the 144, which now sits on the gravel. The 114 is now in 13th place. Back on the lead. Stagdal with Aleman following, Kina in third, Neck in fourth, then Garby a bit behind and Ilf in seventh. Vella, which was in fifth at the start of the race, is now in eighth place, so not bad considering what happened early on. Relano Meza sits in 9th with Senator in 10th, Velman in 11th with Mikos in 12th. As you can see, is in front of Zoranovic in apologies, Alfano in 13th and Borzaki following. Then you just saw Zoranovic in 15th after getting a stop and go 30 seconds penalty, and then Gomez is in last place. Also, Rexartal now finds himself just behind Gomez in 16th. Let's hear that this race is pretty much in Zaknal's hands with a 10 seconds gap on Aleman. Now sits 3 seconds in front of Ek, and at this point is the only one which is a bit close to a battle for position. But there is also the battle there for Ek place between Vella and Relano Meza. It's interesting to note that Aleman now sits, I think, 9 seconds. No, it's still 10 seconds, apologies. I thought it was a bit less, but it is still 10 seconds, and I think it will remain like this between Zakdal and Aleman and Keenan and Ek. Maybe not, because Garby is just behind. But here we are following the position number 8. Because there is the battle between the Spaniard and Vella with Alpha Car demolished on the wall. the contact which happened in this very turn, right at the start of the race. Was also now Santoria finds himself just in front. Oh, that's Sullivan losing the car and losing the rear. And that's going to be Keenan in second place. Which was the car's passing? So the second I showed him on camera, that's him passing in two. So Aleman is now sitting in another spin, so that's Vela gaining another place. At this point Aleman is just doing donuts on the sand. Also, the 909 goes in front of them, so only Velman and Alfano. And now maybe not even, because Velman clearly wants the position now that it's available, and he takes him. He takes it, and it is now 11th place for Velman in a shock twist of events. The car which had the clear chance for a podium is nowhere in that place anymore. So Keenan finds himself in a shock twist of events in second place, and Garvey just follows him further, with Ekin effectively fourth. After a mistake happened here too, because Garvey was behind Ek, and now it's the other way around. Because also now Benjamin Ekin loses the place on hill 2, and that's going to be the 555 ahead of the 51, so another position lost for the 51. So everything unfolding just at the very tail end of the race, with Ekin now going on outside and trying whatever is possible on 555, which is now in 5th place. Is a Competizione 2. What volete per fare MC in there? It's not in a good place. Yeah, I think it's a race over for Aleman. Because also its teammate goes across their eyesight. So the leader is now easily ahead with Keenan, which is going to lap the car number 30. This guy now also does the same with Hill, now clearly ahead of Eck. Oh, that's Gabi. Yeah, that's Gabi in the 2-1, which is now in 6th place. Still losing the rear end. So now Hill is in 3rd. David Hill is all of a sudden in 3rd place. Just ahead of the 51. With 6 minutes to go. That for some drivers this will be a drop round, very likely. With 5 minutes to go, there is still a chance for Eck to make it into the podium. As he covers the inside as early as possible, even if there was a car there. Here the gravel from the number 30 sitting out of the racetrack. Santa Maria is still out there, so clearly he just went with full fuel and tried to get some lap time from the less time wasting pit stop. Although the race is over in only 5 minutes, so very likely 2 laps to go. which puts Santa Maria in a difficult situation, because if he times the pit stop in a wrong manner, it's going to be game over for Ferrari. Meanwhile, I saw Senatore with yellow flags, but I don't think he just lost any position. It was just behind Verano Mesa, and now he is in no man's land in ninth place. Here still trying to get back into third place. Still is keeping the head high. It's getting more and more possible for him to be on the podium. Meanwhile, I think that's going to be white flag for Alex Zagdal. So last lap for Alex Zagdal in the lead. We will follow his last kilometers in this race. So Tonya goes into the pits. There's going to be a win, or rather a landslide, for the Swedish driver as Alex Zagdal goes across the line. That's going to be the first win of the season.
Leader has finished the race.
With Alex Zagdal in P1. Just behind is going to be the 78 of Terence Keenan, which takes a second place on the podium. And last place on the podium being held by David Hill, with Eck behind in 4th, and Garby following in 5th place, with Vella somehow in 6th place. This is the Verano Mesa in the number 89, Senatore in the 112, with Mikos in 8th place, with Velvan in the number 29 in 9th place, and Alfano only 10th, unfortunately, after the great race he was having with Murasaki, which will complete the race in 11th place. Number 777, Mr. Martin, and then it's going to be only 12 for Santa Maria, which chose to, maybe, probably it's not 12, 13th, who chose to not pit everybody else and completed the race in 13th place. Aleman only 16th, that's going to be a huge name in the standings, but at least at Rapran, so maybe not too much to worry about. Anyway, this was the race number 1 in the Master League. I hope you all had a beautiful evening. I will see you next round in actually round 3, because I will not be present here in round 2. But anyway, stay safe until the next time, and good night. See ya.